Hey guys, today I'm going to be teaching you how to handle upsets and giving you some tips and tools on how to keep your cool and stay balanced even in a difficult situation. So let's get started. I'm Emily Goldthwait. I'm an author, an energy healer, and I help people have powerful self-awareness, deep self-compassion, and expanded understanding. So the example I'm going to give you today is a little lighthearted, kind of benign, but the tools and steps that I'm going to teach you are super useful in every situation, whether you're dealing with a coworker, family members, friends, children, or a piece of machinery, like my story today. These steps and tools will help you no matter the severity of the upset. Step number one is to acknowledge your emotional knee-jerk reaction. Upsets kick our brains into fight or flight mode, and so when we can stop to acknowledge our thoughts and the emotions going on inside of us, that's going to help us stabilize and be able to get ourselves out of a reactive state. So this morning I went to mow my lawn. It's not really a lawn, it's weeds that I have been watering faithfully. And so they're very lush and very thick. And I mowed them not too long ago, but because of the watering, they grew back in really fast. Now, a few weeks ago when I mowed them, I kind of was cutting corners and I didn't want to have to mow it twice. And so I had it on my regular low setting that I use for just like my regular lawn. And what that did was it ended up stalling out my motor because it created a lovely mash inside that like caught the blade. And so I was able to clear the blade and get my mower running again, but it kind of had given me a scare that I had broken it. So I really love power tools. I love wood shop, and so I'm always working with power tools, but I always have this concern, like my first knee-jerk reaction when something goes wrong with a tool is like, oh my gosh, it's electrical. I don't know how to deal with that, right? I'm like super mechanical. If I can see that there's a screw loose or like a wheel out of alignment, I can fix that. But if it's electrical, I just am like, oh my gosh, I don't know this. It's like a wild animal that I have a healthy respect for that's like, don't bother it, it won't bother you. So when they break down, I'm like, I'm gonna have to buy a new one or I'm gonna have to hire someone to fix this. I don't know how to deal with it. So I went to start my mower this morning and I pull it out, plug it in, do all the things. And on power tools, they have a safety, usually a bar or a lever or some sort of safety mechanism that you have to hold on to and then press the power button to get the machine started. And if you release that safety bar, it's going to immediately shut off your power tool. And it's a really useful safety mechanism. And I'm very familiar with safety mechanisms on these things. So I get out my mower, I pull the lever and I press the button and nothing happens. And I like immediately, like my fear brain kicks on and it's like, oh crap, I broke it last time. Like it just took time for the like fuse to give out all the way, like something electrical is wrong with this thing. Oh no. And it was like, okay, I'm not gonna panic. It could just be my breaker. Like maybe I need to just go check and make sure the outlet's working. Let's start with the simplest thing first, right? So I go and I check my outlet and my outlet is just fine. And I'm like, oh, it really is the mower. It really is broken. I broke it and what am I gonna do? So I'm like, I'm gonna have to take this thing apart and see if there's like some burnt up fuse or something that I can replace and like visually see that there's something wrong. And if it's not that, I'm gonna have to buy a new mower. And can I fit the mower in my SUV? Why do I have an SUV? I should buy a truck. Great, now I need a truck and now I need a mower and now I can't mow my lawn today and my whole day's taken up trying to fix this mower. Like less than 30 seconds, guys, my brain was like full-fledged fight or flight. Like our life has completely changed because my mower won't start this morning, right? So I'm like, going down this road and I just have to stop so then I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna try, it looks like there's a panel on the front, I'm gonna try and pop that off. So I'm like sitting here trying to rip this panel off the front and then I'm Googling if the panel can even come off and it's like wanting me to download a manual and I'm just like a little overwhelmed of like, I don't even want to be doing this, I just want to mow my lawn. And so I stopped myself short of like force handling that panel off of my mower. And I'm like, okay, just take a breather. I just need to take a breather. I need to go inside and think through this for a minute. There's gotta be a logical solution to this. So that brings me to step number two. Step number two is to take a break or a breather before reacting or reacting further. So step away from the situation as much as possible. Sometimes when we're dealing with another person, it requires an immediate reaction and that can be tough. But the minute that you can kind of step back and start to look at it, see if there's another angle that you can either approach it from or see it from a different angle and reach out, like I said, to your light and source power and ask for some assistance and to be able to see it differently. And what that's going to do is that's going to help bring your cortisol levels down and get you back out of the fight or flight reactive mode so that you can see things clearer and your creative brain can kick back on and try to come up with a more creative solution to the issue that you're facing. So as I did this, I went and sat on my couch and, I have my skeptic brain going that's like, the mower's broken. There's nothing you can do to fix it. Like, you can ask all you want, but you're not going to suddenly get a bunch of information on how to fix some electrical thing that you have no training, learning, or skill on. Like, there's nothing you can do to fix this. And so I'm sitting there like, shush, like, just all my doubts, fears, like, just be quiet. I'm trying to like calm down here. So I'm sitting there and I reach out in prayer and I'm like, hey, like, spirit guides, like, show me what I can't see here. Like, at first I was like, I want a mower that works. I'm like, oh wait, I need a mower that works. No, not need. Okay, what am I yes for? I am a yes for a mower that works. And I was like, I have a mower and I'm a yes for that mower working. And I'm a yes to know how to fix it or what I can do to get it working. So I'm like, okay, yes, that's what I'm a yes for. Like, show me what I can do. And immediately I had the idea to test the power cord. And I was like, it's not the power cord. I'm quite confident because there's no slice in it. And typically with a power cord, it's in its little casing. If there is not a visible slice in your cord, it's gonna work. So I was like, but that's the idea that came. I'm gonna go follow through with this and see what comes of it. So I grabbed my little plug-in and plug it into my power cord, and the power cord is just fine. And it was like, yeah, see, I knew it. I knew that wasn't going to work. That's not the problem. I know it's not the problem. And I'm like, no, that for some reason I was supposed to come try this. Let's sit here and think about this for a minute. Why did I need to try this? So I'm sitting there on the ground next to my mower with my power cord in my hand and my little charger thing that I was testing with. And I look over, I'm eye level with the mower. And I level with the safety bar on this mower. And I'd already checked all the connections to make sure nothing was like ripped out and they were all fine. And so I'm looking at it and suddenly this memory comes up of the first time I tried to use the mower last summer and I couldn't get it to start. And the mower had been used before. It'd been given to me by a friend and it worked just fine for them. And I was like, okay, well, clearly it wouldn't just stop working just because I'm doing it. Like, clearly the mower still works. And so I had Googled how to start the mower and like these memory was coming back of like the operation was being done, like how to start it was being done in the wrong order. And I was like, there's no way, like that doesn't make sense to start it that other way. There's no way I'm making that mistake twice. Like, this is the way that makes sense to start a power tool, to start this mower. And I was like, but on the chance that I am doing it wrong, I'm going to try it again. So I go and put my stuff away. And by the time I come back out, everything inside of me just knows that I have been doing it backwards again, like I did last summer. And so I plug in the mower, I press the power button, then pull the safety lever. And lo and behold, the mower starts, no problems whatsoever. It works perfectly fine. So I was like, oh my gosh, I almost just like dismantled my mower and took apart a perfectly good mower, thinking the mower was what was broken, when what was wrong, what wasn't working, was the approach of the operator, that I was out of sequence with what was needed to produce the optimum outcome. There was no issue with the mower whatsoever. All of the issue lay within the approach of the operator. So that brings me to step number 3, to realize that you are the operator of your life. And the power always lies with you to be able to shift, adjust, or reframe the situation to produce the outcome that is optimum for you. So oftentimes in life, just like with this mower, how there was nothing wrong with the mower, all of the issue laid within my approach to starting this mower. That a lot of times is how our life is. A lot of times a situation that we see as a problem or an issue might not actually be an issue. It's something that we are either creating or that because of how we are reacting to it creates the issue. And so when we can take that minute to take a break, take a breather, reach out for help, we are able to see it from another angle or another way or an approach that maybe we hadn't thought of. And in the very least, if it's like an event that's already happened in the past that's kind of like haunting you, in the very least, you can reframe that situation to have a different meaning for you, and that will change the effect that it has on you and give you back your say and your power in life. So the steps are: 1, acknowledge your emotional knee-jerk reaction. Number 2, take a breather before reacting or reacting further. And 3, Remember that you are the operator for your life, and the power always lies with you to be able to shift, adjust, or reframe the situation for your best and most optimum outcome. So that's it for today. I hope you found that helpful. If you did, shoot on down there and give it a like and subscribe to my channel, because every week I'm going to be putting out more content like this to help people like you have light, love, and joy in your journey. Take care.